as well.
Oh, so you don't want the you don't want the YouTube plebeians to see that, huh?
Well, no, it's just a separation of.
How dare they see your true cheekbones?
My true. No, it's just a separation.
You need to get Alfie to do your
It's
makeup one day, that when you take off the mask, it's just like your entire face looks like it's caved in from the cheekbone above.
Oh, God.
Like, horrifically scarred just where the mask is.
I mean, that's
Exactly.
always been, like, the lore reason why, like, Lucian wears the mask in his, like, in the labs and stuff. The lore reason is, like, all of this area is just horrifically scarred. Due to, like, surgeries and stuff.
Awfully specific area to be scarred, huh?
Well, that's where you open up the brain from.
Yeah, up the nose.
I know the back.
Oh, and then you lift the whole top of the head off.
I would think.
I'm just imagining it's like a screw fitting for a light bulb.
I would think more like eye surgery at the very least. Maybe
Tim
like
Apple.
stuff on the like noses.
Literally,
nose
the
and
only
stuff?
people I've ever seen with like dramatic scarring in that specific localized area has been like race car drivers who've been in a fire, because the balaclava covers everything else.
Well, anyway, ladies, gentlemen, and all variations thereof, welcome to session 55 of Shadows of Sorcery. In fair Metina, we lay our scene tonight, and joining us this evening, covered in edible glitter and marshmallows, it's Zarian playing the librarian.
Hello.
Sleepy as a sloth, and hopefully not asleep already. It's Lydia playing Ingvar Svan. Barely audible, but they're there.
They're astral projecting in from the dream plane.
Munching on KFC. God, I wish I had some KFC. It's Elfie Oakwood playing Prodigious Maximus.
Give me your address, I'll send you KFC.
You have my address!
I don't remember things.
And last but not least, living indefinitely not Middlesbrough, it's Darren Moran, played by Lying.
I can't believe you just doxed Lang and also stream didn't hear that because Lucian has the soundboard muted.
Oh.
No, they did hear that.
Okay.
Yay.
The soundboard is not muted. I have stressed this multiple times. Please don't play any copyrighted audio through the soundboard.
Oh, I only have access to
Interesting.
default sounds anyways.
Well, I know that, but like... The quack, yes. Badum Tish, thank you. Anyway, welcome everybody. Joining us for this evening's Shadows of Sorcery session, which of our fair players wishes to take on the review of last session? You know what? I'm going to start counting soundboards as... Who the fuck?
Walking Dead, yay!
Anyway. Lying? Take it away.
My brain has been like deep into trying to solve a coding problem that breached time and space this past week. Do not ask me.
You volunteered.
No, I did not.
You cricketed. You volunteered.
You just now made up the rule that the soundboard counts. So no, I did not.
They're the DM, they make up all the rules! That's the point!
Suffice to say, I do not remember.
Okay. Elfie, you want to give a crack at it?
Oh, okay. After the previous session, that happened. we went, oh, we may have fucked up. Let's get out of here, kids. And then, I have no words today. And then we were in the tavern, and we found Darren's brother / sibling, the little one, spying on us. I fucking punted him through a wall. And then they had a moment that was really cute, and they have some sort of talking devices now. And then we were like, we gotta scramble out of here. So we went up to find a flying ship to Beyonder. And there were 2 ships, one that was really cool and very expensive, and then one that was scrappy and gorgeous and was full of pirates. So we decided to get on the pirate ship, and then Prodigious Maximus felt very unwell and went downstairs to be sick.
Okay. It's a close enough summary.
I tried.
No, it's good. Okay, so last session, having finally completed the trials and tribulations that you were put through in Dwarvish Court, you retired to your rooms to figure out your next move. Wherein Darren found a small hole that had been illusory walled over, that was being used as a peephole from another room. Punched through a solid granite wall, grabbed whoever was on the other side and started beating them senseless. Turns out that someone was Bin Moran, Darren's younger sibling. In dwarf years, the equivalent of mid to late teens, essentially. You had a discussion. Darren found out that one of their parents died while they were away, and so you went to visit the necropolis in the city of Velostov. A massive mechanical marvel made to keep the dead, and the statues of the dead, who stand and pose heroically and sometimes lewdly in the alcoves of that area. You visited Darren's mother. Darren took a moment of silence away from the rest of you. And then you proceeded up the central column of Velostov to the airship docks, bound to find a airship to Metina, a small city on the edge of the southern empire. You had 2 options. A scientifically advanced vessel with incredible propulsion systems, and probably would have gotten you there in under 2 to 3 days. Or the Mournful Whale, a rusty old clanker airship designed for hauling large amounts of cargo, but not very fast. You all opted to go with the less expensive route, which was the Mournful Whale, and you met Captain Garroth Chiptooth, who welcomed you all aboard the Mournful Whale. As you all spent the few weeks that it took to get from Velostov to Metina together, you had to go through a few different skill checks, including bad weather, storms, and a flock of shatter starlings who tried to shred the airship's hull and balloon. Chatterstarlings are scavenger birds. Their wings are made of a form of dense crystal, and they are carnivores as well. But they taste very well, very good. So everyone except Prod, who was sick for most of this, got 11 temporary hit points at the end of that, to last until their next long rest. As you approached Metina, 2 watch cutters pulled up alongside the Mournful Whale. The watch cutters being a form of police airship, a police vessel. A couple of inspectors stepped across as the watch cutters pulled up alongside the Mournful Whale, took a look around the below decks before requesting paperwork from you. Since none of you had any, they've told you to head to the embassy to get your paperwork sorted. Darren, since you have the alert feat, I would like you to roll me a perception check.
Ooh, goody. Alas, I don't get my special can't roll lower than 10 on this. Not that it matters, 16.
16. Okay, that's barely enough, by the way.
Yay!
So
Fairly adequate.
as
That should be our party name.
as the watch steps away from, like, they step across the gangplank, the watch captain turns back to Garroth and says, and they sort of grasp each other's hands, like they do that sort of arm handshake where they grab each other's forearms tightly, and the captain goes, "Pleasure to see you, Garroth. I hope you will join me for a drink sometime today, once you have unloaded your cargo." And Garroth goes, Yes, I'll be sure to do that. You, Baron, notice as the captain is withdrawing his arm, Garroth palms something into the captain's hand, and the watch captain steps away onto the cruiser, pocketing whatever it is he was just given.
A bribe? In this world?
Okay, so the watch cutters, these long, sleek, sort of triangular-sailed vessels. They're not airships in the visual sense that we have here. They're much more magic, sort of inclined, so they don't have that massive envelope at the top. Instead, they have these large sort of fins that sort of curve to the back, and this semicircle that sort of goes underneath the hull. And they are much faster than the Mournful Whale. But you all trudge, or the Mournful Whale trudges on, alighting down to dock in Metina. This city is sprawling, it is massive, there are towers and minarets. It feels a little bit like you're stepping into a mixture between Moscow and Egypt, perhaps. Like, there's a mixture of architecture here that feels like usually it wouldn't go together, but in this instance, there's these massive sort of towers that have these large bulbous onion-like heads, and these sort of gantries that stick out a good 20 feet, and you can see dozens of different airships docked up. in this area of the city. This seems to be the airship harbor. You look down and you can actually see several shipyards below you where there's just a flurry of activity. It's like watching ants work. And there's a couple of massive ship hulks that are being constructed. You can see one that's almost finished that has this massive double ring setup that goes around the outer hull. And you watch as they ignite the rings. The entire rings blaze into this golden flame that doesn't seem to hurt anybody. But immediately, the whole ship starts to rise out of its cradle. It's quite a sight to behold. You can see on the ground a smattering of a crowd has gathered to watch this vessel rise. And it looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. And it looks maybe about the same size as the Mournful Whale, but a lot sleeker and a lot new. The Mournful Whale docks at a decrepit-looking tower. It looks like it's seen better days. Just like the Mournful Whale itself, with its rusty metal plating and tattered envelope. Although, as you're all about to step off onto the gangplank, Tiptooth, the captain, turns to you, librarian, and says,
my friend, those runes you inscribed on the balloon, how long do you think they'll last?
Can I do a perception check?
sure.
Or an arcana check or something?
I'll give you Arcana, yeah.
Okay. That is a 9. That's pretty bad.
9. Okay. So, looking at the runes, you were the one who inscribed them, so you know a little bit about them. But you're not certain. Looking at them at the moment, they seem to be pretty stable. These are like the elemental defense runes that you essentially etched into the balloon last session. Your estimation is maybe 3 or 4 more days.
Probably a couple days. Probably 3 at most.
All right. Well, we happen to see any storms, well, we'll be careful.
I'm sorry. You've all been wonderful for helping us get through various troubles that we've had on this journey. I thought it best to reward you for your service. I know that you paid us to bring you, but, well, we can always use a few friends, you know?
And he pulls out a small bag. It's only about this big. And he sort of lobs it to you, librarian.
Oh, cool. Thank you very much. Take a look inside.
Inside the bag is a fine red powder. There's maybe about 30 grams of this stuff. There's not much.
I would like to use my magic sight.
Okay. It is magical. There is a degree of infused magic in this powder. But it doesn't seem to be... It doesn't seem to be illusory or damaging in nature.
Okay. Does this remind me of anything?
Ask him what it is.
What is this?
Do you ask him what it is, or do you...
Yeah, what is this?
It's a prized spice here in Metina. You might find a use for it in a few different places.
I don't say this out loud, but we're all like 100% out. He just gave me the biggest bag of red hot Cheeto cocaine that money can buy.
Yeah.
Oh, well, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll find a good use for it somewhere.
Well, I wish you all luck on your journey. And, well, if you don't mind, we need to get started unloading this cargo.
And he sort of whistles to everyone, and you watch as they start bringing up these heavy-looking iron boxes from the deck below. Ingvar. Lydia? Lydia?
Check the chat.
Oh, check the chat? Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay, that's fine. If you need to,
Rod?
if you need to take an evening off, Lydia, you can, please. I wouldn't want to force anyone to take part in something they cannot. Okay. I'll let someone else take this check then. Prod. Roll me a perception check.
He doesn't have eyes. Let me see. Where do you... give me a sec. Perception. Press that button. Wait, how do you roll a perception?
You click on the plus sign next to perception, and then you roll the dice as normal.
It's not opening up the dice.
You
It
just
doesn't
click.
have eyes. Yeah, you click the plus one. There should be a button to the right of perception.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a +0. Should I just roll a 20? I'll just roll
Yeah,
a 20.
if
This
it's
should
just
roll a
just be
20.
bugged.
yeah.
There isn't. Well.
Nice, 18. And then a 13.
Okay.
That's weird.
Strange.
I don't know. Okay. So, and was that an 18 that you rolled first? Yes. Okay. Doing pretty well on that perception, huh? Okay. So. Are you just intentionally rolling now?
No,
Or-
no, I was trying to get rid of the dice.
Oh, I see. Okay, so as you're looking at these heavy iron crates, you notice that the lid of one of them is slightly ajar. We're gonna take a trip back down memory lane a little bit now, to when Prod was on the airship, sick as a dog. You, Prod, spent your time in the quarters, essentially, for most of the journey. However, it was 2 weeks, and eventually, curiosity got the better of you, because the captain did say
not to go into the hold. So what did you do?
I went into the hold.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay.
if someone tells you not to do something, there's either really good wine in there, or there's fun secrets.
So, you, Prod steps out of his cabin. He's still feeling a little bit queasy, but it's mostly abated at this point. And you look to your left, and you see the stairs up to the deck. You look to your right, and you see what looks to be a large iron hatch that has been not necessarily locked, but it looks like it's been closed pretty tight.
I'll see if I can open it, you know?
Yeah.
Just see if what's going on over there. Have a little investigate. See if there's like void on the other side. If there's a void on the other side, I won't open it, you know?
Oh, roll me a strength check.
Ah, thank you. Oi. Strength. Bloody hell. Apologies. Strength. +5. Come on, mate. Are you gonna roll?
You need to drag it, remember?
Alright, I'll roll this and then add 5 to it. So that would be a 22.
22. Okay. So, you sort of squat down next to the hatch, and there's this big iron wheel in the top of it. You know those kind of like those submarine hatches? You grasp it firmly, and you're prepared for like it to be a difficult hatch wheel to open. And you pull, and you kind of just lift the entire hatch up and off its hinges. You're holding it like this, going, and you look down and you notice that, like, where the hinges are, there's just, like, a bit of iron rusty dust left. But it's as if someone had just, like, put the hatch there for looks, and the hinges just decayed the moment you picked it up.
Oops.
So you gently lean it against one of the walls and look down, and there's a ladder that goes down into the lower portion of the ship.
So I pick up the wheel, the door that I just took off the hinges, and I gently replace it into the point where it was whilst going down the ladder.
So you sort of like doing
Sort of
with
cover my
manhole
tracks.
cover. Yeah.
Yeah, manhole cover style. Just so no one knows that I've come here. Like,
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be able to
Until the
bust my
next
way
person
out.
that tries to open it, yeah.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, you do
fucking-
hear the sounds of battle coming from upstairs. As you hear a few explosions as apparently, and the captain screams something about shatter starlings, but you don't know what that is.
I don't want to do battle. I just want to see if there's any wine down here.
Okay, so
I go on a little explore.
You step into the cargo hold. It is relatively empty. There's a few heavy boxes sort of lined up along the sides of the cargo hold, sort of balanced to keep the airship properly balanced. You look around. There's one of the heavy iron boxes has what looks like a slightly jammed up lock, as if someone's tried to pick it before and failed. But there's 8 of these iron boxes, and then at the end there's like a wooden chest.
Right. I go, where would wine be stored? I go over to the wooden chest and see if it's openable.
Okay.
Wine box.
So the wooden chest is a good 8 feet long, It's a big wooden chest. It's like 8 feet long. It's got a heavy lid that's got banded iron straps. You look at it and it has 2 locks.
Prod has no proficiency.
Mm-hmm.
Does Prod see if there could be a key anywhere?
Roll me a perception or investigation check.
Let's go for investigation, because that's +5 for me. Wait, everything's a +5. Everything +5. Oh, I have aid!
You have, yeah, so you wouldn't have
I'm
it
so sorry.
at any point. At this point.
Wait, hang on. How do I turn off?
So with the...
No, I don't have aid. Well, I have just.
It might be the glitch where you tried to put proficiency on something and it turned everything to +5.
Don't you also get your charisma?
Oh wait, no.
Hmm?
It's put me at 50 hit points. What is going on?
Are you on the right character sheet?
I was on the right character sheet.
Try reloading it. There's a little reload button in the top corner.
Yep. It just says I'm at 0 hit points out of 50 and I've got no skills. No, it says all of my skills are at 20.
Okay,
Well.
so you're on the wrong character by the sounds of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Settings.
Just sort of close out of the symbiote and open it back up. So in the top.
Top what? Top.
In the top left corner of the symbiote, you should see like 3 little lines.
Yep.
So click those, then click the little X button next to Tailspire VTT.
Ah!
Got
Really
it?
weird. Yes, thank you very much.
Okay.
So I was doing an insight.
Investigation.
Never mind, throw that off cliff.
It's a good
so
thing you
can-
did.
Investigation. Great, that's a -1.
Oh dear.
God, if only we had
Oh.
somebody who couldn't roll lower than 19.
But I got an 18.
Whoa! Not
You
bad.
got you got 1 point lower than I am physically capable of rolling on investigation.
Okay. You look around. It doesn't take you long, actually. Your sharp eyes, for a change, it's a little like dark in here, but your night vision's pretty good. You look around. You notice that there's this big like ring of keys just hanging on a hook, about 10 feet away. And there's like 12 different keys on it, but you have time.
I have time. I go through and use each key and try to unlock the thing because I'm like, there must be some wine in here. It settles my stomach so much.
Eventually,
like,
you
of course
do
you
manage
keep good
to
wine under lock and key.
unlock both locks.
Yay!
You lift the lid of this massive chest and look down into this massive crate. And the first thing you spot is a heavy-looking broadsword.
Can I get a vibe check on that broadsword?
Like,
Before you
do
grab
want to
another
do
cursed item.
detect good and
Yeah.
evil on the broadsword?
Yeah.
Yeah. The immediate vibe you get from this thing is nothing. There's no magic on it.
Hey, nice.
And you go to pick it up,
And you lift the broadsword out of this chest. And your immediate thought is, this is a shit sword. And you're looking at it, and you notice that the handle has, like, it's made of just pine wood, and there's splinters on it. The crossguard is, like, old iron. You tap the blade itself, and it feels like there's copper and bronze and maybe iron all throughout the blade. And there's different consistencies all along the blade. It's a really bad sword. It's not well made.
We're shipping Temu merch. That's what's happening.
Oh. Well, sod that. Throw it back into the box. Have a shuffle around, see if there's anything else in the
See if
box.
there's anything else in the crate. Okay, so the sword itself was lying on this, like, red velvet plush cushion, right? Which does not fit the sword.
Huh.
You rummage around and roll me a d20. Roll me a d20 for luck.
I am lucky.
Mm-hmm. I'm taking that into account with my calculations.
18. I cannot not
Okay.
18 today.
You rummage around in, like, you start pushing your hands underneath this cushion. You start looking around the outside of the chest. Eventually, you just sort of lean on, like, the corner of the chest, and you feel one of the corners click under your hand. And the layer with the sword, sort of, you watch as it pops up, but on hinges, very slightly. Like, there's a little spring-loaded catch underneath, and it pops up. And you look down, and now the sword is, like, on a slight slant.
Ford goes, the fuck? It sort of starts squishing the corners and then seeing if that makes anything else pop, and then pulling up.
So you pull,
The sword's
up the sword, and you notice that there's, like, a layer underneath that has just essentially popped out of place. And you lift it up, and it's like there's a second case underneath. And you open it up, and underneath, there are two swords. Two long swords.
Vibe check?
Vibe check. Definitely magical. Not necessarily evil.
Better than what we've done before. I sort of have a poke. I'm gonna try and recall. Are these any swords that Horace has previously owned?
They do not
'Cause-
look like any swords that Horace has previously owned.
Okay, because I know cursed swords are a thing that they had.
Horace had essentially a long-bladed rapier. It's like a very, very dangerous fencing sword. These are proper long swords. Think Geralt.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
like it.
Oh, you look so
a
cozy.
pair of what?
You look so cozy.
I am so cozy. I have like 2 different blankets over me, and I'm still cold.
Oh.
Anyway,
Conversely, I'm wearing a crop top and I'm fine.
well,
Well, that's
good
because
for
you're a
you.
slut.
Rude. It's called
2
being
very
pansexual,
different
thank you very much.
reactions. Okay. Anyway, you pop this chest open. There's these 2 beautiful long swords, and they are beautiful. You look at the hilt, and it's inlaid with gold and amethyst. At the top, there's a small sigil embedded in, like, the crossguard, and the pommel itself has this sort of beautiful twisting design. Both the longswords are almost identical, except for the runes on the blade that are engraved in and then inlaid in some sort of purple crystal, maybe amethyst or something like it. You look down at these swords and make me either history or religion check.
Which one am I better at? History is a -1, so not that. Religion is a +3.
The
so I'm going
paladin.
with that. My religion's +3. That's a 5.
That's a 5. Okay.
What Prod's gonna do? Let's just say he doesn't know.
Well,
He's gonna get a bit of paper and he's gonna do that thing that you do with runes and shit, where you like.
you're gonna take a rubbing.
I'm gonna take a rubbing. I'm gonna rub off the the swords.
You're gonna rub off the swords. Okay. With a 5, I will give you this. Purple looks really nice. You really
does.
like the purple and gold. It seems really familiar, but you can't place your hand on it. You don't know why it seems so familiar.
And so they're both purple and gold.
They're both inlaid with purple and gold, yes. The swords themselves are like this beautiful silver color, but the pommel, the handle, it's like gold wrapping with like amethyst in sort of amethyst crystals, essentially.
Okay. I'm not gonna steal this sword. These swords.
There's 2 of them, yeah.
I'm not gonna steal them because I know that would be silly. Because these guys have done us a great service by letting us on this ship, and I don't have to fight right now because I feel queasy, and he was very sweet about that. I will gather all the information about these swords that I can. I'll even do a little doodle of them, a little sketch of them, and sort of keep it in mind to tell the guys later when we're all in a room together about these swords. And then I'm gonna click it back. I'm gonna put the padlocks back on. And I'll just have a little investigate about the other 5 boxes in case there might be wine in there.
Okay. So you still have the Ring of Keys. You open one of the boxes. It's this heavy iron chest. You open it up, the top, and you look in. There's no wine. There are these heavy black balls with this weird sort of like red center section. You're not entirely sure what they are.
How many of them are there?
There's 8 boxes, and each box looks to be able to hold maybe... I'd say maybe about 80 of these balls.
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take
80 to 100.
Okay. So that's fine. I'm gonna nick 4 of the... No, wait. Yeah, 4 of these little balls, because my brain's feels like ammunition for something. But I'm gonna take them from 4 different crates, so it doesn't look like one is less.
Alright. There are 8 crates as of note.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Are they all the same?
They're pretty similar. Like, some of them do look like they might have a few more or a few less, but you can't really tell. Like, the way they're packaged is, like... It's like there's, like, little rails in the box itself where the balls have been placed in, but they're not all, like, 100%, you know?
Yeah. So I'll take 4 from those boxes and then lock everything back up.
Okay.
And I'd like to just quickly confer with my friends before we take any more action when it comes to the swords.
Okay. So you pocket 4 mysterious balls, shall we say?
Mysterious balls.
You have mysterious balls.
Down
Additionally,
my trousers are full with mysterious balls.
If you want to, you should have a notes section on your character sheet where you can note down mysterious balls.
Yay!
You have notes on your character sheet now.
I knew watching Dented Down would come in handy.
Mystery orb.
So yeah, everyone who has an up-to-date character sheet should have mystery orbs, or not mystery orbs. Should have a notes section. Fucking hell.
For their mystery orbs.
A notes section for their mystery orbs. Yes.
The morbs.
The morbs.
It's morbid time.
Okay.
Okay. I will then, get everyone to be in, a little cabin together, and just be like, hey,
before that,
so I found
roll me a
these
stealth
swords.
checks
Oh no.
to get out of the cargo hold undetected.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have passed without trace,
You do have
And
pass
also
without a
teleport in
trace.
shadows.
and
You-
I believe down there might be pretty dark.
Yes.
So somewhere else in the place is also pretty dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I will just step there.
Okay.
Teleporting into the shadow of the ship and falling the fuck off.
Yeah.
You shadow step through the shadows of the cargo hold, and you step into a relatively opulent-looking cabin. But it's got lots of candles and
Shit. Fuck.
quite nice lighting. But there's it's throwing lots of deep shadows into the corners, and you step out and you look around and you realize that there are windows across there, and there, and you look up and you realize that there's a skylight, and you look up and you see the mournful whale above you.
The mournful whale. So the ship.
The ship
Yep.
that you were on just now,
Until a second ago.
above you.
I step back.
You step back. You step straight back through the shadows and back into the cargo hold.
The fuck? I leave. I will roll my sneak, and I will leave.
Roll your sneak. Okay.
And
The
then
main reason
I plan-
I'm setting this up, by the way, is your shadow ability does work. However, you kind of have to see where you're going to use it properly. So sometimes it just sends you to random shadows.
10.
10? 10's fine.
Okay.
you-
I replaced the thing.
Yeah, you lift up the cover. You kind of, at first you're like, oh, I need to lift it up by the hinges, but then you sort of just start pushing it up and you realize, oh wait, there's still no hinges. You put it to the side, you put everything down, and you turn around just as someone starts climbing down the stairs to the cabins, and you sort of nonchalantly look like you're still queasy, and you see the halfling first mate sort of drop down and go, "Hey, you're up!
Not
Wow.
for long.
If you're gonna puke, do it over the side."
I'm on it, boss. And I start climbing the ladder to get up and over the side.
And Is there anything else you'd like to do in this space?
Not in this space. I would like to go up on top and try and have a peek down to see
Look over
what
the
was
side?
looking up at us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you look down. Roll me a perception check. See what you can see.
Perceive.
You perceive.
I'm going to perceive. I do not perceive.
You lunge for the railing, look over the side, and immediately puke. You do not see anything except vomit flying out of your mouth.
I look over, I realise how high up we are, and I just start chundering everywhere.
Pretty much. You cannot see anything below you.
I go, never mind. And then I stagger over to the guys, and I whisper and be like, hey, I went down to the cargo hold, and I think I found the thing. Whenever we get
when you arrive, when you're safely away from the vessel, you converse with the rest of your party as you're sort of walking down the gangway into this sort of large old cargo dock tower. And you all step into this old elevator, and it starts descending, and there you relay your information about the swords and the stuff that you found.
I pull out the piece of paper where I have the runes that have been rubbed on, and I'd be like, look, I did a good job. Didn't I do a good job? I look at I look at Librarian being like, look, didn't I do a good job? I'm a proper adventurer. Look at me. I took a rubbing. I rubbed off a sword.
Are you okay? Like,
I did an intelligent thing. I didn't just hit something. I want someone to be impressed.
No, I'm proud of you. Whatever you did, and no matter how many crimes you committed, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. Like, literally a tear comes out. He's...
From the sounds of
Did
things,
you
someone
find
committed
another
harm
cursed
against
object? Give it here.
I didn't find it. Maybe. It wasn't
Identify.
evil. But here are the runes. I can't understand them. I thought maybe you could translate them.
Okay, so first of all, it's not that I don't trust you, but I would like more information about this situation. So, with your permission, I'd like to see what it looks like through your eyes.
Sure. How?
Okay. So, with my level up,
Are you
I got...
sure you want to be seeing anything through Prod's eyes? We know where those have been.
Yeah, because I want to see good and evil, because this is a build-up from the fact that they lied about the fucking armor last time.
Yeah, okay, right.
I would like to use Gaze of Two Minds to perceive everything through Prod's senses when looking at the sword, and also be able to use them as a casting conduit to use Inspect.
Gaze
Does
of
that
Two
work
Minds
in
a
past
spell?
tense?
It is Eldritch Invocation. It's the one I talked to you about before, that I sent
Okay.
you a description on you, okay?
Yeah. I remember.
Control
Okay.
Prod.
I remember the sword.
So, Gaze of Two Minds. As long as the creature is on the same planet. Any special senses, cast spells. 6 feet of each other. Okay, yeah. As a note, Prod doesn't have swords. They just have a piece of paper with some runes on it.
Damn it.
Yeah, that's what I'm...
Yeah. However, that will still allow you to
Are
use
they
their...
evil runes?
You look at the runes, and the first thing you notice is that you can read them.
Prod, you're literate.
They're a little scruffy. As a note, you can read them. Prod can't, but you can. The reason you can read them is because they are written in Celestial.
Positive sign.
And you look down at these runes, and the first thing you notice is that the first section is the name of a god. So sort of the first 3 runes on each piece of paper that Prodo's brought you are the name of a god. And they're the name of the same god, as a matter of fact. They're the name of the goddess Callist.
Oh, bugger!
Oh. Prod,
The-
where did you get these swords or runes or whatever again?
They were in the crate. You know, the crate. I was really good and I didn't steal anything!
No,
Well.
I'm so proud of you. This was one of the smartest things you've ever done, I think. That's Callist's name in Celestial. So there's a good chance those are holy weapons made in the name of Callist or have some kind of weird divinity to them.
Oh my god! Prod punches a wall.
The second half of the runes are different on each piece of paper that you have. The first 3 runes are the name of the god. The second 3, and there are 6 runes on each sword, denote... The first one denotes... essentially the rough translation is Callist in flames and Callist in frost. Or Callist in ice, if you will. Callist in fire and Callist in ice.
Can I use my skills in Artificer to discern the very difficult clue that these are magical fire and ice swords that can probably use fire and ice magic and be really cool?
Roll me an Arcana.
Let's see what I get. I get a 23.
You get a 23. The runes are not related to whatever enchantment is on the blades. As far as you can tell, without having seen the blades themselves, you don't think that the runes are related to the enchantments directly. What you think might be the situation here is that these are... Because the Celestial translation is a little rough, and you're not entirely certain of it in this current context, without having seen the blades themselves, and noting that Prod only took rubbings of one side of the blades, it is possible that these are part of a poem that is part of the Holy Scriptures of Callist.
I think this might be like a poem, and these swords are kind of dedicated towards some of the holy scripts, maybe?
My god!
Which means it could just be a craftsman, but the fact that they know Celestial is a little bit weird.
Callist.
Well,
I should have nicked those. Prod lies on the floor and just goes for a minute. Can we at least see where they're going? Can we see the people who are picking them up?
As the elevator gets to the bottom of the shaft and you guys step off as you're having this conversation, you watch as 3 robed figures step onto the platform and start elevating up.
We go back up.
how far away is the elevator that's currently going up?
It's a good 10 feet up at this point, and it's still going. And the tower itself is 100 feet tall, so...
Is there another way down?
Prod, look me in the
There's
eyes. How
stairs.
badly do you want these swords? quickly.
Pretty bad. Have you?
And I use Dimension Door.
Okay, so you're using Dimension Door on Prod alone, or on yourself and Prod?
It has
are
to be on
coming-
myself and Prod.
It would be
Okay.
both.
So, what about Darren?
Yeah,
Well, no.
I'm also here.
Are we descending on an elevator right now? I've kind of
You guys
forgotten
just
the whole...
you stepped off the elevator just now, and a group of robed figures stepped onto it and went up.
Okay, here's the plan. Dimension Door onto the elevator that's going up with just me and Prod. The box technically counts as something we can carry if it's not big enough.
It's
which
8
means we can
feet
go
long,
Oh,
2 feet wide, and 2 feet deep.
Would you
just-
allow Prod to do a strength score to just get the swords maybe and carry them?
No. I just want to see where it's going because maybe it'll go to some like big Callist prophet. And
Oh, okay. We
I-
just want to trace it? That's a lot easier.
yeah,
I feel like it's pertinent to state that the dimensions Lucian has just described apply to a coffin.
Hmm.
but also
Just
to
putting that out there.
Well, I already found the hidden trap. There's not going to be 2 hidden traps. Oh my
I
god,
mean-
there are 2 hidden traps.
I'm a rogue and I'm better at investigation than you, but yes. Probably not. Probably. Depending on whose body it is.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, continue on. I see those eyebrows.
Which eyebrows?
Gonna give myself
My
30
eyebrows.
seconds to come up with a plan. If not, then I guess nothing's happening.
Let's dimension door back up to the top just so we can see. Okay,
I'll stay and guard the room, I guess.
okay, wait. Okay.
If
Is
you're-
this
if you're
the only
helping out.
way? Is the elevator the only way up and down from that platform?
There's stairs. Like, there's stairs that go around the elevator all the way up, but it's a lot of stairs.
Okay, so if they're gonna come back down, they're gonna come down there with the box. So we just have to wait here until they've done the trade. If they're exiting the platform.
I thought the
right?
trade's already happened and they have the box, right? And they're going up.
No, we
What?
just came
No.
down from there, and there is the box up there too, right?
Sorry, I'm very confused about the current scene.
A little bit.
Okay, you guys arrived, docked at a tower, you
Yes.
went down the tower, and then a group of robed figures went up the tower to where the box is on the airship.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they're about to have the trade. Got it.
Yeah. So we just need to wait here until they're done with the trade. We don't need to go up. It's fine. Prod just kind of like, you guys want to play a game of tic-tac-toe in the dirt?
You pull out a sword and start scraping tic-tac-toe into the dirt.
Just wait a minute. We don't need to see this trade happening.
I mean, if we want to.
Ooh, do you have a little creepy guy
Yeah,
who
I
can
can
go
get
up?
my little scuttlebug.
Scuttlebug!
Okay,
Put up a
what-
scuttlebug! Put up a scuttlebug!
I would like to summon the observer.
Okay, so you summon the observer. What is the range on the observer? Does it have a range specific, or...
I think it has a time limit, which is like a number of hours, but I don't remember if there was a range specifically. Let me double check. I normally have the page up, sorry. I'm a little scrambled
fine.
today.
You're good.
Du, 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 du. 125-foot range.
Yeah, that's plenty. That's plenty. The tower is 100 feet tall, so...
That's me an extra 25 feet, baby.
So
It's all some people need.
You summon in this scuttling little, sort of, woodlouse-style, cockroach-style little bug that's made of, like, copper plating and tons of little legs, and these big old eye sockets and these tiny little pincers. And you sort of set it on the ground and you point it you're up, you set yourself into it, and it starts climbing around the outside of the tower, using its little legs to pincer into the rock. And you watch, you're actually pretty quick with this little thing, since you're not having to essentially go around all the way. You can just sort of do this nice gentle curve all the way up. And you get to the gantry where you see these 4 robed figures stepping out onto the gantry. They're wearing heavy sort of white robes with what looks like gold embroidery across them, and a silver sigil on the back. And they sort of step towards Captain Garroth as he's sort of waving the crew themselves to bring down this heavy wooden box, which, now that you're looking at it, Librarian, does look suspiciously like a coffin. In fact, you're noticing that it's slightly taller than it is wide. Like, there might be more to than just like a sword storage compartment there.
Okay.
And this heavy, like, iron box is bound with heavy, well, it's a wooden box, but it's bound with heavy iron braces around the outside. And the sort of, the robed figures step forward, and as one, they all sort of bow to Garroth, who sort of tips his head in acknowledgement. One of them, no words are exchanged throughout this. One of them withdraws this heavy-looking pouch from their sleeve, and they have these really long, sort of drooping sleeves. One of them withdraws this pouch and proffers it to Garroth. You notice that you can't see these figures' face, they're hooded, robed figures. But you notice that their hands are scaled. Or at least this figure's hands are scaled. The rest of them are keeping their hands inside their sleeves. But it's the skin is like an alabaster white with like little scales across the back of the fingers and little talons. And they proffer the bag to Garroth. Garroth picks it, nods, has his crew push the box towards them. And you notice that there are handles on the outside of it that these figures sort of line up next to. Grab them with one hand, and you notice that they all have these little scales on the back of their fingers. They all hoist it onto their shoulders and walk into the elevator and head down. About 3 minutes later, the elevator hits the ground floor, and you, Rod, and you, Darren, see these 4 robed figures step out carrying this long wooden chest over their shoulders. And they start heading out through Metina.
We follow them. Just like as subtly as possible. Just see where they're going.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I mean, we've got a bit of time here.
I don't see an alternative.
Let's go.
We just do a little follow.
So these figures head through a pair of gates at the end of this sort of like courtyard area around the tower. They head through, no issue, and then sort of a watch guardsman stands up as you guys arrive and turns to you and says, "Hey, Purrs."
Oh, bugger. We need to visit the embassy. Where's the embassy?
Do you know where the embassy is? We're trying to find the embassy.
Redavian Embassy?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. Let's see. You're gonna want to go 2 streets that way, and take a left at Vaughan Street, take a right
down to Darren Lane, and then make sure that you don't go past the fountain. If you've gone past the fountain, you've gone too far. It's a big building with sort of grey columns. Looks a little bit like a cheese grater, alright? And if someone stops you, and he sort of rummages about in his pouches before pulling out a little golden, essentially like a little golden signet, and he hands it to you, Darren, and says, if someone stops you, just tell them you're on your way to the embassy to get your papers sorted. The Watch aren't as forgiving as us customs officers.
Understood. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you.
We're off to
And
see
he sort of
custom.
waves you on through. By the time all of this has been sorted, somebody roll me a perception check.
No, got it.
I'm just trying to pull my weight at this point. 10.
And wait, on perception?
Yeah.
Okay,
I only have a
by-
+1. It's not one of my proficiencies, so...
fair enough.
Oh, I thought it was. Damn.
No.
Investigation and persuasion.
Yeah, those my stock and trade.
Yeah. As you
Inside
all
them.
step out into the crowded streets, you look around and the chest has vanished, and the robed figures with them. You do notice, like, in the far distance, the street, like, people in the street seem to be parting around something, but then closing right
What
back.
do I
and
see
it's
with my
so far
magic
away
vision?
that getting there would be impossible. What do you see with your magic vision?
Do I see the remnants of a spell that was just cast?
No spell. From what you can tell, it just seems like these robed figures are relatively respected, but getting to them at this point would be like trying to fight a tide of people, whereas they can just effortlessly slide through them. At this point, catching up would be difficult.
Okay.
You know a rough direction of which way they've gone, but you can't follow them directly, basically.
Shall I investigate to try and figure out where they went?
Nah, give up on it. We'll ask around.
That is what investigate would
Yeah.
entail to some degree.
Okay.
It's up to you.
Guess I'll roll investigate.
Yep. You're better than me.
Better than most. Ooh, goodbye. That is a 25.
25, okay. You ask around, and eventually someone turns to you and goes, you must be new in town. Yeah, those are the monks of the Church of Light. They are relatively new, how do you say, religion in this part of the world, but they are very well respected. They are they're known for helping the community around them, and they are they're a strange bunch, I'll grant you, but they do well for the city. You see, but yes, they have a small a convent on the other side of the city. You see, this sort of tall, gangly-looking carpet merchant, as he's sort of sitting in front of a stall that's just covered in various rugs and stuff.
Okay, so apparently something roughly the size of a coven got delivered to some priests, and now we've lost track of them.
But we know who they are at least, and
Yeah.
presumably where their church is, which is good.
One thing you did notice, librarian Marcus, the sigil on the back of the robes, was a silver candle, radiating a small halo.
Okay. Does that symbology mean something to me specifically?
No, at least not that you can think of at the moment.
Okay.
You just it's so that so that you know what it looks like, so that you can recognize it in the future. Yeah. What would you all like to do? Ingvar sort of steps off the elevator and looks around and just kind of looks a little queasy. Not sky sickness, just setting foot in a new place and going, I don't know where I am.
Literally the 1 foot.
Let's head to the embassy and then less guards on our ass. I will be good.
Okay.
Yeah, they're always such a pain in the neck.
All right. So you all pull yourselves together, and you take off towards the embassy. It takes a good few minutes before you manage to find the embassy, and you realize that the reason it's difficult to find is because it's tucked in a tiny little alleyway, and like there are these big grey columns that denote it, but it's like someone tried to squeeze a government building into a pocket of the city that isn't usually visited. So you eventually manage to find it, these big grey columns. You see the symbol of the Radavian flag sort of flying in front of the embassy, and you step through the doors, and it is chaos inside. You step in, and you notice that there are papers strewn across the floor. There's one harried-looking clerk sitting behind a desk, just tearing through filing cabinets. You see 3 other clerks who are just arguing with each other. You see an old man in a turban waving a walking stick at this young bookkeeper who's looking absolutely terrified. The entrance hall to this area, there's like this desk in the middle, and then there's these 2 large staircases that wind up to this second floor. You see rows and rows of bookshelves, but half of them are empty. There's papers strewn across everywhere. It is a mess.
That's.
Prod
Do you think it normally looks like this?
Prod's gonna intimidate to try and calm down this whole situation. He's just gonna puff out his chest and be like, alright everybody, what is going on here?
Why does intimidation feel like a poor choice for this?
Breakfast!
Roll me intimidation.
Mostly,
I'll
it's
wait-
the
I'll
guy
have more
waving the
persuasion.
stick at the young clerk. That's really where I'm pointing this.
Hmm.
It's no one deserves that. Oh, come on.
The riot and the din, like one person turns to look at you and then is immediately slapped in the face with a sheaf of paper and just turns back and punches someone.
I mean, someone else do this.
Rolling
My goodness,
persuasion.
Okay.
I had a +6 on that, by the way,
Oh dear.
and I still got 8.
That is a 28 on persuasion to try and calm people down.
Okay. How do you attempt to persuade the situation?
I speak loudly, but loudly and clearly enough to be heard over everybody, and I explain that nothing will get done if everyone is shouting over each other. Please calm organize yourselves. We'll get through this and figure out what's going on.
What form are you taking at the moment?
Help me, what are you suggesting? Are you suggesting I should be a cat?
I was suggesting you should be a dragon. Be a dragon.
Sure, we'll say I'm dragon moding.
You're dragonborning. Okay.
I forgot my camera was on.
So everybody sort of turns to look at you as this sort of the hubbub dies down a little bit. You step forward and like a book just falls from the top floor and slams down into the pavement next to you, and you look down and you start exclaiming and proclaiming, and everyone sort of turns to look at you and looks at each other and goes and just goes. Everyone starts nodding, and the old man sort of looks around at you and goes, "Ugh," as they see a dragonborn standing there. Apparently not a common sight around here. Some of the clerks sort of start tidying up some papers. You see an elderly-looking gentleman sort of climb down from the chandelier that's in the middle of the room. Sort of shimmies his way off onto one of the railings of the balcony. And the clerk in the middle of the room sort of looks up at you and mouths "thank you" at you as everyone slowly starts to tidy stuff up.
Much better. Wasn't so hard now, was it?
Okay. You have temporarily calmed the Radavian embassy.
What seems to be the problem, my lovelies? Let's go one at a time. Old man with the stick, what's your problem at the moment?
Oh, they lost my certification of citizenship for Metina, and I'm going. If it's not found, I'll be sent to work in the mines.
That sounds bad. Take a seat, my friend. We will find it. You young clerk.
Which clerk are you talking to? There's like
The
six.
one that the old man was yelling at.
Okay.
Do you need a drink? Are you okay? It's never fun to be yelled at by customers.
The clerk's hair is kind of like all over the place, and he's carrying like 3 sets of books and ledgers under his arms, and he's like, no, I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry about me. I need to do some filing. And he sort of runs up the stairs.
Okay.
They've had a wee bit too much of the Arcanist coffee, if you know what I mean.
I think you're right. Right, this argument that's going on here. You guys, what's the arguing about? And why are all the books missing?
These 3 clerks just sort of look at each other and then go, one of them sort of steps forward and goes, well, you see, well, we had our files, the watch came in 2 days ago, and they took a bunch of our files without notice, and we haven't had them returned yet, and there's a lot of citizenship files in there, and we also need the ambassador to Metina was assassinated 2 days ago.
Oh,
That's, maybe should have led with that, Mark.
That's quite concerning.
The watch came in because they were looking for evidence of murder, and they took
a lot of the files from the ambassador's office, but we don't know what's missing now.
I see.
So, sorry, the ambassador, the person leading this particular embassy, or the ambassador of Metina?
The Radavian ambassador to Metina.
Okay, they were assassinated / murdered.
We believe so, yes.
Right. Well, that's a pain in the butthole, isn't it?
A little bit.
And also a loss of a good friend. I'm so sorry for your loss.
We weren't really friends, but thank you.
Do you think? No. That's not a question you ask people.
Uh-huh.
You deserved it. That was out of character, by the way.
I know.
Let's not relate this to any current event. So let's get everything tidied up as much as possible, because this place is chaos. Put back everything that you can put back. Let's start with that.
Yes, I suppose. I'm sorry. Where are my manners? I'm, Greg.
Hi, Greg.
Hey, Greg.
I'm,
Greg.
yes, I'm Greg. Greg's.
Greg.
Greg? Your name is Greg.
Oh, of the Farrelden Gregs. I see.
Greg.
Oh, Greg
Greg's.
of Greg.
No, just Greg's. Greg's.
Oh, Greg. Gregs.
Gregs.
Okay. Gregs. Do you happen to have any indexing cards for the records that weren't taken, perchance? That way you could verify some identities just based on the name and evidence of record?
We
For
have.
like a split second there, I thought you were going to ask do you have any index fingers.
No.
I don't know why.
We have a few. We have most of the indexing cards, but some of them were taken with the ambassador's files.
Can I roll to help this man organize things? I feel like I would be really good at this.
I agree. You would.
Sure. Roll me.
Do I roll?
I don't. What would the roll to organize?
Insight?
Skill?
I think
No,
that-
like, I guess maybe
think
just a
that's-
score?
It's logically either straight intelligence or straight wisdom, but I'm not sure which exactly.
Will, which is intelligence, which is can you do it, and wisdom, can you do it well?
Yeah, like, I feel like I'm
One or the
giving
other.
wisdom on how to solve an organization problem rather than just, like, a straight up... Like, problem solving is wisdom, like, facts and stuff is intelligence in my head.
Can I give you aid? To aid you in your...
In which case, I will say, roll me insight to see if you can figure out the internal machinations of an embassy, and
Okay.
assist with it.
Oh no, not aid. I want to help
13.
you. I think I can bless you.
Oh, you
I'm
can bless
blessing you.
me?
Get blessed!
I think that's for... Actually, I can just cast guidance on myself, can't I?
You can, yes.
But I've already rolled, though, so it wouldn't really
No,
be for me now.
I will say,
No,
Elfie
bless
was.
doesn't do it either.
This doesn't
I'm
do it
thinking
either?
of
Never mind
guidance.
then.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, never mind then. 13. It takes you most of the afternoon, but eventually you do manage to assist them in reorganizing the filing systems for the embassy. What are Prod and Darren doing in the meantime?
Well, how long are we going to be here?
Well, let's say
mean,
they
I didn't-
estimate this afternoon.
I'll say, like, at like a certain point, I'm just kind of like to you guys, hey, it's alright if you guys want to leave and do stuff. Just tell me, like, the name of the inn on the telecom ring, and I'll come over later.
I don't think we should really leave the embassy until we have something like temporary staying stuff. Because they said
Presumably
that
we will have done
like,
that
the
while we're
watch-
organizing stuff, right?
It's
guy
one
at
of
the
the first
door-
things that you guys do. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
getting your papers in order is one of the first things that they do for you while you're there, essentially.
I'm presuming that
Okay.
the papers have our names on them.
Yes.
What other information about us is on these papers?
So these papers have your country of origin, your name, your date of birth. They have a small stamp on them. It's essentially like an identity card.
Yeah, that's my concern.
They have a little stamp that has a magical engraving in it to verify it as real, essentially. And it has essentially like a enchanted portrait that changes to reflect your current look.
Does that include with the dragon?
Does not
coding?
include illusion. No.
Oh
just-
no.
It essentially it updates to reflect your current features.
Oh no. That's gonna cause some complications if my card gets checked.
That's
Depends
okay.
which
The
form
rest
you're
of us have our
wearing.
things. It should be all right.
I mean, as long as you don't disguise yourself, it should be fine.
That I literally just got this thing under disguise.
As the clerk who's looking at it looks up at you, as they're sort of getting the photo done, and they go, "Damn, this thing's been on the fritz all week." Oh, here you go.
Happens all the time. Dragon stuff, you know.
The thing that is taking these pictures, by the way, is like this 4-foot long camera, essentially. Like one of those really old organ style cameras, except that it has 3 like steam vents on the side, a chimney, and it has this massive piece of slate at the back that you have to slam in really hard to get it to take a picture. It snaps a picture. The picture appears on the slate, and then they have to grind it out with this massive rotary saw to get it on your card. It's
So,
quite an
hang on,
impressive piece of machinery.
This is a magical portrait that reflects how I look minus the disguise. But my dragon moding form is like a couple of feet taller than me. Is my head actually in frame?
No clipping out the portrait.
It's mostly forehead.
Okay, this is gonna be worthless to me. Okay, right.
But it's funny.
Oh, it's funny as hell.
It's managed to get this half of you, basically. Like, you can just about see the top of your eyes.
Okay, hopefully that's good enough.
The clerk
Really
seems
nice.
to think so.
It'd be really nice if there was an enchantment just to say the person holding this is actually the person it's depicting, but okay.
I think that's what the stamp does, right?
Well, no, the stamp just verifies it as a legit.
Yeah.
So, like, there's
well-
this is the genuine article, and here is a picture of what the person holding it should look like.
Yeah.
While this is happening, I would like to say I'm looking through the records sneakily while I'm
Okay.
organizing them.
What are you looking for?
One, I'm looking for information on who this person that got assassinated is, and 2, I want to see if I can see the name McGoban anywhere.
McGoban?
McGovan.
McGovan. Okay. So you do manage to find a little bit of information on the person who got assassinated, just from like talking to the general staff. So the person who got assassinated was called Callan Ryan. Callan, Kalen, Rhyme, R-I-M-E. They had been the ambassador from Radavi for about 6 months. And they were relatively well liked. Relatively. They had... It's reputed that they had a few gambling debts, but that they kept a relatively tight ship with the whole embassy situation. As for the name McGovern, you look through records upon records upon records. You notice that one of the indexes, there are 3 indexes missing. One is under M. One is under A, and one is under X. And it seems like
They
quite
got
a few...
that sneaky fucker Xanathar finally. He's headed to jail.
There are quite a few files missing under those 3 headers.
Okay. Is there any other documentation for like certificate of entry or census data that might be available outside of like personnel files that I could sneak a peek at while people are distracted?
There are ledgers that contain essentially date of birth, death, etc. But they mostly refer directly to those files. And as I said, the files for the ledgers for A, M, and X are missing.
It's a garbage filing system. It has one unit of measurement of quantitative information. That's it. How are you doing civics with this? Bet you don't even know the literacy score of this fucking city.
Oh my god.
Librarian pulls out a couple pamphlets for the the library and leaves them on the side near the sign-in form for getting like the pass to the city.
Okay. What are you doing, Prod, during this time? You have your little ID card.
I have my little ID card. I'm not going to wander off this time. I am holding Darren's
As you're looking at your
hand.
ID card, you notice that the portrait, as you sort of look at it, you wink at the portrait, and the portrait winks back like a little mirror.
Makes sense.
But I go, Darren, can you hold my hand? Darren, I don't want to get lost. Darren!
Okay, I'm holding the hand.
Can we go find that Temple of Light? Just
Sure,
scope it out
sure.
Okay.
We'll find
We
the Temple
will-
of Light.
to that side of the city and just... Not necessarily go in yet, just scope it out.
Yeah.
Okay, call me if
I'm
you
gonna-
guys need me.
Yeah, I'm gonna relay that we're gonna
Okay.
check out. We're gonna scope out the Temple of Light and then check out the.
I'm gonna narrate our way to the Temple of Light through
Sure.
the ring. No, not right now.
No, please go ahead.
No.
Yes.
I'm
Oh,
just
really
relaying
cute
my
dog
thing.
library.
No,
You should
come
have
on.
seen this dog.
Oh, yo, there are some houses. Oh, that's a person. There's a dog. Oh, that's-
Basically, you're just
Kind of
being
dog.
really
you're just being the
hot-headed.
librarian's podcast while he's working.
Yeah, I'm a podcast.
I just kind of like I put
Nothing.
the ring in my ear like a little earring, like a little headphone.
Like a little loop earbud. I
Yeah.
just start chatting away. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we just saw a... Oh, there's a cat. Oh, there's another cat. My god, these people love their cats.
You walk past an alleyway and you see like 6 cats sort of start meowing at you. They all look very well fed, I will say.
Rod, as much as I love you, can you stop psychically linking what sounds like at least 7 to 8 cats into my brain directly?
Isn't this what?
You need to tune your spam filters. But okay, I'm presuming we make it to the temple.
You do.
Has it
It's not a difficult place to find.
it's the Temple of Light. I imagine it's very brightly indicated.
Well, everyone around you sort of goes, "Oh yeah, temple. Yeah, it's just down there. We know where it is."
I literally cannot roll lower than 19 on investigation. I would hope I could find it.
Yeah. You do eventually come to the Temple of Light. The first thing you notice is, like, the walls of this temple are, like, sanded, white stone. You walk in, and there are these massive pillars that line sort of the entryway, a little bit like a Grecian garden. And the temple itself, there's these long steps that lead up to it, and then this large white building with this golden dome over the top of it. The building has several wings. You enter into the building itself, and you see, as you're walking through it, multiple robed monks that sort of walk around. They all have their hoods up. They all have their arms sort of in their sleeves.
Villager style.
A little bit, yeah. And like these long sleeves that sort of droop down the front. Their sleeves are usually embroidered in this gold, and they have this silver candle on the back of their robes. You step in, and at the end of the hall, you see this large marble altar that has these this glass pane window, this round window at the back that has the symbol of this candle, a flame lit in the dark, with a small halo around the outside. You look around, and it's a pretty regular temple. There's a few pews, there's a couple of altars of worship. You see a figure at the end of the hallway that actually has his hood down. There's like gold embroidery. He's wearing like a gold overrobe as well. It's more like a scarf. You know, the I don't remember what the name is of those pieces, but coif? Is that correct?
Possibly.
It looks like a scarf.
No, the tabard goes down the front.
No, it's like a scarf that goes over and down the front. Essentially.
Oh, like
that
a priest.
wear. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I don't remember what the name of that thing is. But yeah, he's
Stole.
wearing a stole.
Yes.
Okay, so he's wearing a golden stole with little silver candles and flames all the way up it, wreathing the whole thing.
Dear God, it's the Church of England.
He sort of turns towards you all, and the first thing you guys notice is that his skin is alabaster white. It has scales that lead up to his sort of cheeks and around this sort of section of his face. And his eyes are this golden yellow color with like black slit pupils. And he turns to all and he goes, "Ah, you visitors. Welcome, my friends." And he moves forward towards you, and you all notice that he doesn't
Don't tell me he's
walk.
gliding.
He doesn't step. Instead, he has this long, lower torso of a snake.
Yeah.
As he sort of slides forward towards you. His body does this odd little bob side to side as he moves forward. And you all notice that he has this long white hair that sort of collects around the front of his priest's robes. And he's wearing this sort of little golden circlet around the top of his head. And you notice that it has little, like, tiny thorns around the top.
Do I recognize this kind of, like, species at all? Is this entirely weird and new to me?
Roll me a either history or nature check.
It's the same value for me, so yeah. That is a 13
13.
on the history.
These
Unless
people...
this is like I get advantage because it's something dwarven.
No, it's not dwarven. These people, from what you can tell, this species is a Naga. They are commonly known in Rudavi for being essentially one of the more wild folk. They're not often found in major centers of civilization like cities. They prefer warmer climates, and they prefer forests, rainforests more specifically. You don't see them often in Rudavi because that area is very cold. There are a few, but they're few and far between. So it's more likely that you'd see them down here. And they have... seeing this one, it's a little bit of a stark reminder of the Medusa that you guys encountered in the Feywild.
Yeah. Fuck one.
Except that Medusa was a lot larger and had heads full of snakes.
And also you didn't want to look at it.
Yes. But this figure is like fully alabaster white. All the scales are as well. All the way to the tail. And they slide their way towards you and go, "Welcome. What can we, the Church of Light, do for you on this most ostentatious of days?"
Friend, don't you worry. I've never seen the Temple of Light before. I come here as a paladin of Callist, and I just absolutely adore all new religions that I have not been previously exposed to. I want to come here and hear of your teachings and see what you bring to this world.
As you mention the word Callist,
Oh no.
and you mention that you're a paladin of Callist, you, Lying, would notice this because you have the alert feat.
Yeah.
I give you so much stuff because of that feat.
It's worth its
Nicely.
weight in gold, it really is.
You notice that the priest's eyes narrow slightly and he twitches, but he doesn't stop smiling. He's still very genial, and he's like, "Oh, Paladin of Callist, you say? Well,
I
we
know.
always welcome others of faith in our halls."
I'm grateful. Is
Can
there...
I try and, like, gesture in some fashion to Prod to, like, clue in that something is off there?
Nah.
Okay. Okay.
Prod's on a roll because he wants to basically what Prod wants to do is sort of insinuate himself, make himself known as someone who will come to this temple potentially regularly, to learn the teachings of the Temple of Light and understand what they're all about, because he's all about spreading the word of Callist, but also gaining the knowledge of all the other gods. He's used to doing this shit around his like home city, because like all religious people, you gotta do knocking on doors.
I can't believe Prod's a Jehovah's Witness.
Prod occasionally did Jehovah's Witnessing, so he engages the snake person in sort of talking about like if they have any scriptures, what their teachings are, just the general vibe of this religion, because he hasn't heard of them before. Please.
So the priest sort of informs you. I'm not going to do his voice for the whole thing, but his basic premise is they are a relatively new church that follows the teachings of the Lightmaker, a name that you are not familiar with. And they tell you about the ways that the Lightmaker helped them escape their darkness, escape their darkest fears, and allowed them to enter society as a truly blessed species of Naga. And how the Lightmaker is this divine being that truly understands and can remove people's fears. There's a lot of that. And then they sort of extol on the virtues of the Lightmaker and the tenets of the Lightmaker's philosophy of letting go of your fears, of leaving them at the door and embracing the hope of a new generation. There's a lot of that, basically.
Yeah, this is ringing some fascism alarm bells. This is crazy fascism alarm bells.
A little cult for you guys. Little cult.
Just a little cult.
Just a little cult.
Prod is obviously so used to this sort of like this sort of hyper-religious stuff that he's like, yeah, I can see this working, I understand this. And he requests to see if they have a library. He can't read, but he likes them.
They have a small theocratic library near the back of the church, yes.
And he requests to see if they have any like sacred objects that they pray to, but that's just him. And like, oh, do you have like a kids club that come along every week and do a little thing, or do you, or he's like so excited to see how this church works.
So they do have a few sacred objects. The head priest brings you to this altar at the head of the chamber, and on it you see this large four pointed silver candle that has this massive twirling wick on each of these four candle sections, and these candles, these wicks sort of twirl into each other and form this massive silver flame that is lit. And he presents it to you and he says, this is our most sacred of objects, the All Flame, the everlasting. It is the heart and soul of our temple, and a gift bestowed on us by our light.
Oh. So
this
is the light
flame will never go out. It lasts beyond our lives.
It's a little clap. I have a question, good sir. Sorry, did we get his name at any point?
Did
he
not.
introduce himself?
He did not.
Sorry, my good Reverend. What should I address you as?
Reverend will do nicely.
My good Reverend. This is beautiful. I have not heard of the Lightmaker before. They sound like a wonderful god, or I'm unsure
God,
how you.
Deity.
deity.
being of immense and incredible power and hope.
Do you know them? Are they someone you can interact with in this plane of existence, not just through prayer?
The Reverend looks contemplative before he says, "They have bestowed their gifts upon us many times. We do not hear them speak in the traditional sense, but we know they are with us."
Much like mine. Callista's beautiful in that way too. And Prod tries to have like a really like religious special moment with this guy. You know, to basically trying to show him that Prod's not a threat. He's just... Is he getting... Alright, hang on. Prod is trying to like be interested and inquisitive, but like not a threat. And through this whole conversation, can I roll an insight to see if that's worked? Or if he's still like super on his toes about me?
Sure, roll me insight.
I don't think I have a very good insight. Insight? Who's my insight? Insight is a +0. Come on, baby. You can do it. Come on, baby. Woo!
Can I also insight?
Holy shit!
Nice!
Natural 20.
Never mind, you don't need my help.
Okay.
How does this guy think about me? Does he think I'm a threat?
Okay.
Can I get vibe check in general?
At first, you thought you were doing well. But the more questions you ask, the more stuff you want to know, the more he seems to be putting his guard up. Especially when you start asking after relics. He's still being very cordial, very genuine, but he's being careful around you.
Okay.
The more you speak on this sort of subject, the more he's like, okay, you might not be as harmless as you look.
Okay. So I realize he's definitely keeping something from me.
He's not necessarily keeping something from you because you haven't asked him directly about anything, but he is being guarded.
Okay. Want to thank him and start, have a quick sweep of the area, like visually, just be like, okay, so this door might lead down to the other areas.
Yeah, so there's a
Try
few
not
different
to-
doors around. There's one that looks like it might lead to a basement of some sort. There's one that looks like it might lead to an outer courtyard near the back. There's a few different doors, yeah.
Okay. I'll tell him, I may come here. This is a beautiful temple. I may come back here to pray occasionally. Is that okay? Obviously, with just to celebrate within our deity's lights are the most beautiful thing to happen to any person of the church. You and I understand.
We always appreciate new blood in our church.
You're just the sweetest. Ignoring the ominousness. And Prod's gonna go. Just before I go, this is me just being me. I haven't heard of the Light One before. May I know them by another name? Or maybe someone that they are, they interact with in your mythos?
So basically, I'm trying to get at. I can't remember their name, and I'm really sorry. But I've got the armor of the person of darkness, essentially.
No, you don't. You have the armor of the god of time and death.
God of time.
Yeah.
I meant to. Sorry, I thought that was part of the shadow thing, that they had shadow powers.
Well, the armor is cursed, but it was made for the Order of Metina.
Okay.
So, it's cursed armor, but it was made. It was cursed possibly after it was created, essentially. And the armor itself isn't like a godly artifact or anything like that. It's from the Order of the Black Rose, which were one of the first like knights of Metina. But that's about it. It's just old.
Probably made here.
What?
It was, well, this is Metano, right?
No, this is Metina. Metina is the city. Metino is the god. Sorry, I know it gets a little confusing.
Metina. Is there a correlation?
No, not particularly.
Okay.
The city that
just linguistic coincidence.
The city that Metino is known for most in is a city called Necronir, which is where the armor was made. You would know that.
I do know that. I apologize.
No, it's fine.
I got confused. Anyway.
But you're asking if there is another name this god goes by, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Roll me a persuasion check.
Persuasion. Persuasion. I've got a +2. Come on, baby. If this doesn't go well, I will use my lucky feet.
Okay.
Yep, I'm using my lucky feet.
Okay.
My feet of luck. I'm gonna re-roll that. Come on, baby.
Better.
That would be a 15.
That would be a 15. Okay.
Better than a 6.
Okay.
Way better than a 6.
In that case, 15 barely scrapes by. The Reverend sort of turns to you and goes, "You may know them by another name, a long-forgotten one. He sort of pauses, ponders whether he should tell you or not. Eventually settles on a decision. The name you may know our Lightmaker by is the Burning One.
Oh, I
Now-
think I've heard of that.
Roll me a history check to see if you can figure out where that name comes from.
Because the Burning One, if back in Alfie's memory, there were the 5 people, right? The 5.
Mm.
And it could be one of those people who defeated the old gods. No, I've forgotten. Okay. Religion. Come on, baby. I get luck. No, wait. I get luck twice. So I'm gonna re-roll that. That's 22.
22. Is this for is this for history
This
Yeah.
is for religion.
or religion? Okay. The Burning One, Bringer of Flames, known as the primordial titan of fire, Raiser of Worlds.
Huh. Sounds pleasant.
So they were something that was defeated by our
Current gods. Current pantheon,
gods,
yes.
yeah. I don't say that to him. That's Alfie thinking, right? I go, yes, what a noble god to have. And I'm just completely,
Roll me deception.
pleasant. Come on. Decept good. Oh, that's a 10. Wait, no. Can I use my inspiration to reroll? I really don't want to get in a fight in this guy's temple.
You can roll inspiration to re-roll that if you would like, but you will lose your inspiration until the next time I give you some.
Yeah. Aye. Alright. That's 17 plus 2, so that's 19.
19. Okay. The figure of the priest looks at you. He smiles a little bit. It doesn't quite reach his eyes, but he's smiling. And he goes, well, it is good to know that our faith is appreciated.
Glad.
Now, if you don't mind, I need to prepare for a ceremony this evening. I shall leave you to it.
Thank you. And I sort of wander out or sit on a pew, up to you, Lying.
Well, what have you been doing in this time period, Lying?
I've been mainly keeping an eye on Prod, and just kind of like sticking fairly close to the door. Making it look like I'm just having a kind of like a tourist like examination of the place.
Okay.
Have I spotted anything suspicious or suspect in any fashion?
Roll me a perception or investigation, your choice.
Investigation, naturally.
Do you want to investigate stealthily or overtly?
I don't think it matters much, because I got a nat 20.
Well, it does, because it'll depend on...
I'll be discreet.
Be discreet. Alright, roll me a stealth check as well.
Cool. Oh, there it goes. 7.
7. Okay. You sort of you browse through some of the books in the library. You take a look around the courtyard. You eventually you look. You sort of catch yourself on a door as you're walking through a hall. A door sort of opens in your face, and you slam into it, and a robed monk walks out, hood up. He sort of, his hand on one side of the door. He looks around and goes, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry." And he sort of puts his hand has these scales on the back of it and these black talons. He turns around and looks down at you. He has legs. But his eyes are still this like sort of pale yellow with that black slit in them. He looks around and goes, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you there. Might I ask what you're doing?" And he's looking around the door down at your dragonborn level. He's quite tall.
Oh, well, wow. I may have gotten lost. I was simply admiring the architecture and decor in here.
Ah, yes. Our light makers. Glory shines down from the golden dome above us and lights us all in his eternal fire. And the door, as you sort of walk around, you manage to get a quick look down the door that opened just before it closes behind him, and you see stairs leading down into what looks like a basement. There's some flickering lights down there. Dark stone walls. You notice it looks like the basement itself has a slight sheen of water across the floor.
Huh. Am I sure that's water and not like some form of slime?
Or blood.
Can't tell. It's
Be very
a
pale
good
blood.
like 30-foot long staircase, so it's a bit far to
Interesting.
see, and you only got a brief glance of what was down there.
Interesting. Do I attempt to go further down?
You would need to attempt to when
I would need to roll
nobody's
another
watching.
stealth check.
Yes, you would.
Hmm.
At this point, I'm still fully engaging the
Yes, you are.
snake eye.
You talked with the Reverend for like at least an hour ish. Like that's kind of his reason for getting a little bit nervous, because you just kept talking, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to disappear behind a door, go invisible, and try and make my way further down these stairs and see what's at the end of them.
Okay. All right. So you sort of disappear into like you disappear into the garden. You drop down behind a hedge and then you vanish. And you head back to the door. First thing you notice is that it is now locked.
Well, guess I better try and pick this lock then.
Okay. Roll me sleight of hand.
Can't roll lower than 16 on it. It's not my best, but I can still do decent with it. 16 it is.
16 it is. Okay. So it takes you a minute, and you have to like back out several times because people are coming through the corridor, and it's like seeing floating lockpicks is a bit of an issue. But eventually you do manage to click the door's lock open. You pull it open and look down. You see this like dark passageway with some light at the end. Little like some of the light is shining across the floor that's a little bit slick. Do you head down?
I head down.
Okay. So, as you head down into this basement, the first thing you see is it's sort of like an oblong room. There's a couple of like heavy casks of what might be wine on one side of the room. On the other side of the room, there's this large sort of semicircle fountain embedded into the wall. You notice that it sort of seems to be leaking a little bit. There's some water coming out of it and flowing across the floor. At least you think it's leaking, but there's no water that's trickling out of it. It's just kind of like the edge is completely dry, but there's water across the floor a little bit. You look around the room. It's pretty empty. Just this fountain on one side of the wall. There are a few like boxes piled up as well, and like all the sconces around the room are made of iron. The fountain itself has like a face on it. This big sort of like it looks as if you crossed the head of a man with like a essentially like a flame. So like the lower half has a jaw. It's got these tiny little fangs and a little tongue. The upper half is just like a piece of
boiling fire, carved in stone.
Okay, so it looks like Markiplier.
What? I don't get it. Moving on.
Like old school Markiplier had his hair like into a point. Anyway,
Okay.
okay. Do I recognize that figure at all, or is that? Am I to presume that's the Lord of Light, as it were?
You assume that's the Light Maker, or a depiction of the Light Maker at the very least.
Okay, I'm gonna have a look at these boxes. What's in them?
There's a few boxes of just like general supplies. The casks seem to contain wine of some sort, and you look and there's like a few baskets of bread. There's some grain. It just seems like a regular storage basement for the most part.
A storage closet feels like an odd place to put a fountain like that, though.
This is a crazy question, but Darren, you know when you gave away your old self?
Don't know what you're talking about, but go on.
Other than that, was it someone who was in a fountain?
DM?
So the creature that you gave your old name to was essentially sitting in the middle of an underground lake.
Okay, sorry, my brain put that creature in a fountain.
Oh, well.
Never mind.
It wasn't a fountain because it's not like there was like a spout or anything, but it was a well basically.
Okay.
It was a well, actually.
It was a very, very sort of wide well, essentially, that was almost full to the brim with water.
Okay. My brain was just like, maybe these two are connected, but I don't think they are. Could they be?
I mean, the creature that took Darren's name did not look like what the stone figure, the mouth that's pouring water from, looks like. It was very much a creature of more like Fey folklore. It was... Yeah, no. It didn't look anything like it, basically.
Okay. Okay.
Well, once I've done checking through their storage boxes, I guess I'll examine the fountain a bit more.
So it's made of stone. I'm gonna say because you rolled a 29 on your investigation, I'll give you this basically for free. I'll let that carry over. As you're examining the base of the fountain, you notice that there's like grooves in the stone around the base. As if perhaps the whole thing slides.
Oh, secret tunnel. I slide the fountain.
Well, you try to slide the fountain. It does not shift under your weight.
Secret password? Put blood in the fountain? I'm just spitballing.
Could be a lot of things. Let me see. It's investigation to like check for traps.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be also investigation to check for like how to trigger this thing to move?
Yeah, probably.
Then I shall investigate the fountain.
All right, investigate away.
Yep. That is a 19.
19. Okay. Looking around, you notice that the tongue of the fountain seems to have been like worn down a bit. And you also
Someone's getting
notice...
Someone's getting lucky.
And you also notice that the small teeth, small fangs inside the fountain have little smears of dried blood on them.
Oh, heck. I think I see where this is going. I don't much want to stick my hand in that.
Mm-hmm.
But that seems like what you're telling me to do.
You don't have to do it. You can come back up and tell me what you figured out.
I don't even have to do that. I pull up the standing stone. Tell you telepathically.
But you have a ring. The sending stone is for Vin.
Right, Rest. Yeah, the ring. Okay, yeah, the sending ring.
But the ring... Okay, question. Does it telepathically send you things? Or does it
Yes.
come out of the ring?
It's the same spell.
It's the same spell. It comes through telepathically. It's not audible to anyone else but you.
Okay.
So, Rods, I'm down underground, follow the big stairs. I found a fountain that is a secret entrance and needs to bite somebody.
Okay. Prod's going to... He sort of clocked where that downward staircase is, I believe.
You did sort of spot a way down before, yes.
Yeah. I say thank you to the snake guy, and I walk out. I say into the ring, is it dark down there?
Is it dark down here?
Dark down there?
Pretty shadowy,
It sounded like it was shadowy,
Okay.
but decently okay.
Okay. I'm gonna do better this time. Because he knows, like, where the door is, he thinks he can sort of shadow step to the other side of that door.
Okay. Roll. Find a place to go from. Remember, you have like 60 feet to do so.
Yeah. Prod's gonna walk out and then be like, "Ah, crap! I need to use the bathroom," and he's gonna try and find like just any shadowy place. I don't know where in the Temple of Light there may be shadows. So
it's a temple of light, but light casts shadows. Eventually, you manage to like tuck yourself behind a pillar, and there's enough shadow that you start being able to push yourself into it.
Sick. I'm gonna aim to go on the other side of that door because I know where the door is. I think I can probably aim to on the other side.
And the tunnel is relatively dark. If you're leaning against the pillar, are you pushing yourself in backwards or are you stepping through?
I'm sort of pushing myself in backwards. They mentioned there was a staircase, so I've got my arms out on either side so I don't fall down the staircase when I
Okay. So you push yourself through the pillar, and you immediately come out, and there's a door in front of you. And your feet are like on the edge of a staircase, and you just slap your hands out to the walls and like, oh god. You look down and you see you don't see anything. You can't see anybody down there, but there is light.
Ah, fucking fuck. Ugh. I've got, what am I on about? I've got +8 in athletics. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. So I turn around and I clink down the stairs.
Okay.
And be like, where'd you go? Darren?
First door on the right.
No.
Now, Darren,
I'm
you
telling
can see them. They're in the basement. You're
I saw
invisible.
something. Where the fuck are you?
Right, sorry.
Ah, your voice.
Get over here by the fountain.
I walk into you. Sort of pat the air. I connect with your head and go, ah, that's where you are.
Just do the thing.
Oh, you want me to put my hand in it? Oh, fucking
Look, could you check
fine.
if it's like cursed or something first?
Oh, yeah. Vibe check.
Evil. So much evil. Like,
Oh, we'll
not
be fine.
necessarily the statue head itself, but like you turn on your detect good and evil, this entire building just like it feels like it's slowly trying to close in on you.
Yeah, this place is not a good place to be. Let's get in, get the stuff, and go out as quickly as possible.
So we
They
are
saw
going
me
past...
leave,
Okay.
so we should all be good. Did they see you leave?
No.
That might be a problem, but we'll figure out it later. Oh fuck this.
I don't think they're necessarily taking roll call. I should be okay. As
Um,
long as they don't see us down here.
I communicate our progress so far to the librarian and to Ingvar. I think Ingvar's helping with the clearing up
Yeah.
and sorting.
Ingvar's having a bit of a day.
Yeah.
He's not feeling great. He must have eaten something weird. Ingvar went to find the inn, and then lay down.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's cute.
So it's a cult?
It
Oh,
seems
most
like a cult.
definitely.
So,
They're wearing
okay.
hoods.
Seems like a bad organization at the very least.
Okay.
What was up with the Nagas? Like, I don't know what's happened.
I go, we're going to investigate further. I'm going to do something potentially stupid. I love you both dearly.
Can you feel up before you go? I need to look at. Oh, okay.
Turn, and I shove my hand in the mouth.
Okay. It's in the mouth. You slap your hand up into the fangs, and you prick yourself with blood.
Doing anything?
Pull your hand out. There's, like, little spots of blood on the back of your hand, but not much else.
I, like, flick my hand into the water below. Maybe it's like a casting the water thing.
You flick your hand, and a drop of blood lands on the tongue. And you watch as the tongue retracts into the mouth.
Oh.
With a sudden... The whole fountain slides back. Water sloshes over the edge and onto the floor. The whole fountain slides into the wall, revealing another staircase deeper into the rock.
Sorry, can I get a high five for that? That was incredible.
In
We
Busy
solved the
5.
puzzle. Yes!
As you look back, you notice that as the fountain's sliding back into the wall, its eyes have lit up with little flames.
That's fun.
Oh. Well, I guess I'll go first because, well, I'm invisible and also can check for traps way better than most people here.
I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna ready an action to swing at something if it looks dangerous, essentially.
Okay, sure.
If it looks dangerous, and I have determined it's a threat. And I
Okay.
creep down the stairs behind.
Behind where you presume I am.
I'm like, I keep going, just make like a little buzzing sound so I can hear where you are. Okay.
Okay. So you descend this small, tight staircase down into the depths of the earth. Eventually, you come to a large, round chamber. And on the other side of the chamber is a statue. The statue is of a serpent-bodied, six-armed figure with a head that has small fangs, snake's tongue, and a flame up past the eyes and up the ears, and all this. It's just writhing flame. No eyes. The statue above had eyes, but this one does not.
Interesting.
It has, as I said, it has 6 arms. The top 2 are holding essentially like torches and little balls of flame in them. The middle 2 are holding a pair of heavy-looking sickles, and the bottom 2 are holding a set of heavy chains. You notice that the figure is mostly nude, and that
Still
it
masculine
has...
or
No, actually.
feminine?
Feminine body, with 6 breasts,
So you could
Nice.
call them effeminate-nominal.
Thank you, Zarian. And you notice that there is essentially gold inlay in the statue itself, like as if the statue was broken once and then was repaired using gold.
Oh.
The chamber is circular. It has 2 exits, one to the left, one to the right, on a diagonal.
Interesting.
Do you
Okay.
think this is a test, or do you think this is just 2 different chambers that it leads to?
I have no idea where's going where at this point.
Let's just go down the left one first, then the right one. And then see what we see.
I only get like an hour on this invisibility, so we should probably try and hurry up a bit.
Yeah, well, walk faster then.
Okay, I buzz faster.
You buzz faster. All right. Okay,
Down
so
the left.
let me give you guys a decent little visual plan for this area. Shall I?
Uh-oh.
That is the wrong thing. Hold on. There we go. Boom. Boom. Let me summon you all to this board. And I shall bring in your characters real quick. Let's see. Where's Darren? Where's Darren? There's
Good
Darren.
question.
There. And British Maximus there. Okay. There we go. Your characters should now be in the world, if you can see them.
Yes.
So you guys have stepped into this circular chamber.
Right.
The statue is... Hold on. Miscellaneous exterior. We'll use this guy for the statue. The statue is here.
Oh.
It's quite a big statue. There is a small monolith in the center of the room here. And then there is diagonal passageway going out there.
Can I quickly say this rendering is gorgeous?
Oh, yeah.
This has just struck me as an especially like, ooh, this is nice looking.
This is
Um,
very...
I think it's just because it's been so long since we've had a solid ground.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused by what we're talking about here. What?
The rendering in Tailspire.
Yeah,
Yes,
we have
it
a
is
floor.
quite
The visual quality is really nice here for some reason.
nice. Uh-huh.
I don't know exactly what makes it more distinctly good to me than anywhere else, but this looks really nice.
I feel like
Fair
it's
enough.
just the fact we aren't floating anywhere.
Yeah, I think that might be it. I'm not sure.
Now you can pay more attention to just the other stuff because there's a better contrast.
Yeah. Probably a good point.
Okay, so we're heading down the left side.
Boop, boop, boop.
Okay.
Right
so
behind you.
Carefully, I stress. Carefully.
So you head down the left side.
Checking for traps.
That's why I said carefully.
Okay.
Just
So
letting Lucian know.
roll me an investigation, checking for traps.
Whee.
Goodbye.
Oh, I can see it this time. Okay, that is a 19.
19. Okay. So, with a 19, there are no traps, at least as far as you can see. It's a relatively short corridor that, as you step through, leads into this wide open space that looks a little bit like a... Well, at the end of the corridor is essentially a small... It's a well. Well, it is a well, yeah. But instead of water being in it, it is actually filled with what looks to be some form of fire that is sort of burning in the depths of it. Throughout the room, you also see rows upon rows of relics, maybe? Objects all throughout the room. Some more interesting than others. You also notice at the edge of sort of like on push to one side of the room as you step in is the large chest that you saw on the airship.
Okay.
Darn to team, I've located the chest.
Can I
Also-
quickly do a
Also,
vibe?
there's a ton of stuff in here for you.
Yeah. Prod's gonna do a vibe check to see if these are different artifacts from different gods. That could be a good and evil and a religion, I think. Would...
Sure. Give me a detect good and evil. Yeah. I'll give you. Yes. So you look around. Some of these artifacts are divine in nature and have very good auras. Other artifacts are demonic in nature and have very evil auras. Some are just really normal magic items. A lot of it is magical, though. There seem to be a few decorative pieces here and there that might have been thought to have been magical once, but after looking over them, probably turns out that they weren't.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Can I do a religion check to see if these... So even though some are divine, I want to check to see if these objects are potentially sacred objects of different religions. Like the swords would be.
Yeah, sure.
Not with the intention of stealing them, but with the intention of finding out why they're there. 15.
15. Okay, so you look around. These items are probably here. Well, you're not sure why they're here, other than that a lot of these items are probably quite powerful. A lot of them seem to be relics. You notice engravings of the symbol of Metina, of the symbol of Metano. You notice engravings with the symbol of Callist and the symbol of Damani. The one thing you don't see, or at least have difficulty finding, is an item with the symbol of Vetic. You see Invicт and Ebenor, but Vetic is
notably absent from this collection.
Which one's Vetic again?
Vetic is the deity of creation, the lord of all, the prism star.
Okay. So, that's concerning.
You look around and you notice that by the well that has this flickering red flame inside it, there are piles of ashes that have been moved to one side, and there is the rim of the well at the front has what looks like a gentle slope.
Yeah, don't go in there. Alright. That seems like I point over to the well and just go to Darren. Don't go in there.
The pit full of fire? Yes, salient advice.
Let's go and go over to the box and try and get out the swords of Callista.
Okay, so you look at the box. Keys aren't there.
He's on there. That's okay. It's down here. I'll break the padlocks.
Okay, roll me strength.
Strength +4. Don't disappoint me. That's a 19.
It's 19. You slam the pommel of your current sword into the padlocks, and they shatter easily.
Yeah.
You pop open the lid, and you see the broadsword lying there on its plush cushion.
Cool. I take out the... I push the corner and pop up the fake thing.
And you pop up the fake lid and open it up. You, Darren, watching this, you realize that the sword cavities only take up maybe 1/10 of the entire depth of this chest.
That is an awfully big box for the sword.
I take out the calloused swords and go, well, can you show me how it would open more?
So you...
Am I doing an investigation or sleight of hand for this?
You choose.
Investigation it is. +9 is a +6. Wait.
I safely stow the sword in my
19.
back. In my...
Both swords.
Yeah, both swords. And I try and cover them up with my cape just a little bit.
Okay. Okay, so Darren, you look around this box and eventually you find sort of in the front there's this sort of iron inlay, and you press two corners of it inwards. You feel a spring. You press them in, and you feel a second layer in the box pop open.
There we go. That does it. Lift up that cover.
You lift up the cover, and the first thing you notice is a corpse.
Hold it.
Wrapped,
How do they look?
wrapped in ceremonial Callist bandages, with gold inlay and purple embroidery. This is ancient, like maybe a couple of 100 years old at this point.
Like skeleton
This is a mummy. It mummified, but well preserved. The wrappings are very well preserved. You notice small runes of preservation across the fabric. At this point, it's mostly skeletal from what you can see from between the wrapping. However, the wrapping itself has been preserved really well and has kept the body together.
Huh.
Okay.
How do you feel about unwrapping a mummy? fine. We probably don't have time for that.
This is probably like someone deeply important, and they're most likely going to chuck it in that fire.
At a guess, yeah.
Okay.
How do we get them out of here? The swords are one thing, they're another, quite literally.
No, I don't think.
Prod just going, no, I don't think.
I don't think.
I don't think.
I don't think. He's staring at this. Can I do like a religion check or something to see if I recognize this figure? Maybe it's
Sure.
from Calist mythology, something like that.
Sure.
Calist, motherfucker. I've clicked this so many times today. There we go. Whee. Well, that's 12.
That's 12. You notice that there are runes inscribed across the bandages, denoting their name, denoting their rank, denoting the position that they held in the church, denoting the family, the friends, the loved ones. There are hundreds of names you actually see that have been inscribed on these bandages by hundreds of different people, all in different stuff. But you find the first bandage, the start of the first bandage. You look at it, and it says Harrow Magistus, first paladin of the Church of Calist, of the Temple of Calist.
Magistus.
Magistus, yes. Harrow Magistus. And then it states, served honorably, in duty and in death. He will be missed, and he will be honored. Let those who disturb this great hero's passing be cursed forevermore.
Do you think the curse has already been let loose? Or do you think we're safe?
I feel like we're not related to the whole, like, violating of the curse thing. Also, I can't read that. What are you talking about?
Oh.
And as you're reading through all of this, you come to the realization that this is... He's not just old, he's ancient. This body is maybe about 1,500 years old.
Perhaps. Maybe around that time. I wonder if anything interesting happened then. Sorry.
Anyway.
So, if this is somebody who's been, like, fairly important, then I'm guessing we shouldn't, like, throw him over your shoulder and run.
No, but
you also
definitely
note,
shouldn't go in that fire.
You also note the dates of his birth and death, by the way, Prod. He was born 58 AC. So, about 1,710 years ago. And he died 510 AC.
That's an old boy.
So he was about 400-ish years old when he died.
Right. Do we have... Does this corpse have a particular race that we can identify? Or is it just like...
It's bones.
It's bones. But it's not dwarvish bones.
It's not dwarvish bones. You can tell
that
that
of course
much.
it wouldn't be
They're...
dwarvish bones, because it'd be stone. Duh.
Yeah. They are humanoid, or of a human height, shall we say. But beyond that, without being a specialist in bones, you can't tell.
No. What can I do? What is something I can do?
I reward creative use of anything in your environment or skills or, you know.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. I'm gonna paladin it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna paladin it up. I'm going to put one hand on the corpse and one hand on my heart and recite my oath to Callist. And I'm going to go, Callist, my patron, my love, my deity, I plead of you, I plead. This corpse will be used for nefarious deeds against your name. I need to remove these bandages. I need to remove the corpse, the power stored in this corpse, in order for it not to be used for something exceedingly dangerous. I will return these bandages to a Temple of Callist. I must leave the corpse here with that, because otherwise would endanger potentially a whole temple against me. Please save us from whatever curse is held in these runes, as it is your power that flows through them. And I take my sword and I gently...
Hold on. You are placing a prayer to Callist.
Yes.
Okay. Roll me a religion check. With advantage, because you are stating your intentions clearly.
Okay, I'll have to roll twice. Woo. Well, that's a 1. Thank fuck. Roll again. That's a 10.
Okay. As you put your hands in prayer over these bandages, as you recite these last few phrases, you look down and you see that the bandages have started sliding themselves up your wrists and twining around your hands and arms, and you feel them as they travel under your armor and up your shoulders and across your back. You start feeling them come, and you watch as they start to twist around your wrists and wrap over your gauntlets as well. And it's like the bandages are trying to wrap themselves around you specifically, as you watch them pull themselves off this body and onto you.
Okay.
And you see, with your divine sense, you see that divinity flip from the corpse into the bandages themselves and then slide over your armor and up your body, until eventually the bandages leave the body entirely, and you have essentially these golden and purple bandages wrapped around and under your gauntlets on both sides and crossing over your shoulders. You feel this tightness as the bandages wrap themselves around your throat and sit there.
Okay. I will keep my promise
Darren,
as I keep my oath.
you've been watching this whole thing happen.
I don't know what to do here. Do you want me to try and cut them? I don't know if I can.
That seems like a worse idea.
Well, you don't seem to be in a great condition right now.
No. I am going to go to a Temple of Callist immediately after we leave this particular location, okay? And I close the lid to the box. I click everything back. I close the lid to the box. I say a prayer to Callist, and I very tentatively walk out.
Okay, so before you do,
I will allow you one small detail. As you're looking at these bandages, you sort of look at the end of it, and you notice that the runes have started to fade and are being replaced.
Ooh.
And it states, "Here lies prodigious." And that's where it cuts off for the moment.
Okay, so we gotta go to a temple right now!
Okay, but we still need to figure out how to get, like, you out and then also me out.
Okay,
And
you can turn invisible, and I can step through shadows. I think we can, as long as we get out of this particular area, we can get gone.
okay,
You hear the
okay.
chunk.
So that was the sound of... I think that was the door just closing behind us.
Hey, well, let's see. Look, if we have to fight one Sneeple, then I'll fight one Sneeple. Let's just fucking go. I would not like to be anywhere near this fire.
Yeah,
I would like to be as far from that as possible.
Darren, are you leaving first or are you leaving second? You following Prod? Okay.
And you're also, you've got alerts, and you're also still invisible at this point, right?
Correct.
So,
Yep.
Prod, as you're leaving the room, roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wait, no, that's not a saving throw. Hang on, sorry. Right, I'm gonna roll something, but that's not my saving throw. Go over there. That's a +4. Because, oh, well, that's annoying. Wait. Why won't it let me... It won't let me... Oh, it's got the same issues happening again where it won't let me do a thing.
I can't believe you rolled a 16. Look at that. What?
I rolled a 16 +4, that's 20.
Okay.
Because I can't roll the dice again for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
I
Again,
promise.
it is in it's a beta symbiote, so okay. So as you step through the door, your ears prick. You look over your shoulder and you see a shadow standing in the middle of the room, looking around. A shadow you know. A shadow of your armor. Wispy and smoky, but looking a lot more defined than usual. They look around, and you watch as... Only you can see this, by the way. You watch as your shadow pulls a sword from their back, this heavy-looking broadsword. And you see a spectre of red flame leap out of the well towards it as the shadow just slams it into the wall. You hear the echoes as the red spectre scatters across the floor. Your shadow standing behind you with the sword raised, poised, ready to strike. And then they vanish.
Yeah, I thought they might not be friends. Alright, I think we've got some people on our side in here. It's okay, Darren. Fucking let's go. Let's scramble forward.
Okay. So you scramble out into the main chamber, the statue still standing poised above, its orbs of flame ignited. You look up, and the steps up to the area where the fountain is are still there, but up top it's just dark. You can't see anything.
There has to be some way to get out from in here, right? There's no way they would just have that thing on a timer and then get stuck down here and toss yourself into the fire, presumably, right?
Let's hope so. Let's walk all the way up to the top. I'm gonna cut a little bit of my hand and then wipe the blood on the wall to see if that makes it go.
Okay. You cut your hand, you wipe some blood, you take 1 point of damage, nothing happens.
Is there anything that looks... Can I check this side of the fountain entryway for anything that looks like a button to open it or some such?
The only thing that you can see, other than like some uneven cobbles and stuff, is the small monolith in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
I'll investigate the monolith.
Okay. You take a look and you see these small sigils that go up each side. You don't know the language, but you notice that the monolith is actually segmented into 3 sections, and they are twistable.
Oh no. It's a Rubik's pillar.
Should we just quickly look down the other path to see if there's like a button at the end of that
If you think
one?
you have time.
Well, what do you mean?
It's the neck bandage situation.
Yeah, I'll be fine. Callista's always on my side.
Are you
She
sure
loves
about
me,
that?
I love her.
I thought that the
there's
whole
a-
thing was from Callista.
There's a good 25 feet of bandages, and your
Yeah.
name took a while to appear on it.
Alright, carefully down the other corridor.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's an auxiliary staircase at the back of this.
Is there anything happening on this side?
Not that you can see. As you step down into the other room, the first thing you notice is this area is a lot less well kept. In fact, as you step in, you see that there's broken walls. Parts of the floor are just missing. But there is a door at the other end.
You think that's potentially a way out?
I mean, we don't have many alternative doors.
No, and I can't be bothered to solve a bloody Rubik's Cube. Prod's gonna do a little jump. Or, if possible, walk across this broken floor to the door.
Okay. So
Alright,
it's
does not have very good acrobatics or athletics.
I can hold you.
Can you?
I can. I'm strong.
so
Take
it's
you with me.
it's not exactly an easy area. You look down and the floor is maybe about 10-15 feet down, so you can't climb up the other side, and there is like water and dirt and debris down there. It doesn't seem to be dangerous, just annoying to get out of.
Okay, this seems fine. Do I get to toss a dwarf? Darren?
Sorry, I didn't deal with the thing. I would prefer that you didn't toss me, but we're in a hurry. So if you think you can manage it,
Alright. Hang on. Let me just... You should be able to jump this. This is... Wait.
there's a tool for exactly this circumstance.
It's a 5-foot jump.
5-foot jump.
6.8, but yes.
Can you jump it? Come on.
I hope so.
I can jump it. Can I just have a 5-foot jump?
But you do have
It's like a
5-foot.
5-foot step.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go there. Good?
Yep.
I catch you on the other side. Make sure you don't slip down. And then...
Roll me a dexterity saving throw, Prod.
Saving throw?
Saving throw.
Oh.
As you
Saving
step
throw.
on that tile, you feel the column underneath you start to slide to the left.
Okay, well, a saving throw is a 20 plus 1. My clicky buttons aren't working anymore. I tried reloading. So it's whatever this
I
is
promise
plus 1.
this won't take much
Yay!
longer.
That's a 12. Ah?
12. You watch as the column buckles and you leap for the next pillar. You barely cling onto the edge as you're sort of holding there. You watch as the other pillar just sort of slides down and crashes to the floor, quite loudly.
Do you want to go the other way?
Then the other way doesn't look much better than this one, but I guess...
Or you could potentially jump at me and I'll catch you.
That is a 15-foot gap, Rod.
You could take a run up.
Where?
You're part dragon! Fucking fly!
I really wish that were something that I was capable of, but no.
Also, you still haven't drunk that potion I gave to you, and I'm kind of mad about it.
The healing potion?
No! The one that turns you into a dragon!
I mean, time and place, okay? Not in
You
a
have no
weird
idea what that
underground
does.
location. Okay, right. Well, here we go.
Rod's convinced it turns you into a dragon.
Yeah.
I mean, they might. You don't know.
Yep.
If you make this jump, you have to
I
drink a
don't
potion.
I don't like how cautiously Lucian is watching.
Oh, this is an ominous looking door.
Roll me a dexterity check, Darren.
Yeah. Hold it. I knew it was
You're a
coming.
rogue. You'll be fine.
I'm a rogue with a +2 dex, so I'm not that good.
Where did that even go?
14.
14. You
Into the
feel
distance.
the columns start to slide under you, and you leap the final thing, and manage to get to safety easily enough. The door
Oh,
in front of you is strange. Not one
do
you've
I
ever
look
seen
like Inverness
before.
Jones? Jesus.
Don't
You.
think this is a way out.
I mean, it's a door.
It is a door.
We haven't had any other openable doors that we've encountered.
Do you try and open it?
I don't think we have any alternatives, so I guess
Can I
yes.
get a vibe check?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna read as
Sure.
evil, I'm guessing.
It's
Vibe
gonna
check.
read as, like, is it, like, more evil than the shit that we've been interacting with so far?
It reads as neutral.
Oh, well, that's an upgrade.
Okay. You know what? Let's hold hands as we go. I don't want to get lost from you. I hold your hand and I push on the door to see if it opens.
Okay, as you put your hand on the door, you feel it slide under your fingers.
Oh. Sick.
You both look into the chamber beyond. And that is where we're going to end it for this evening.
Ah.
I do love a good cursed item, and Prod's got several now.
I'm just kind of collecting them like a magnet.
Well, I think that's what Prod intends to do. I've no idea what's going on in his head, and I think he's like, you know what? A curse is a blessing in disguise.
Okay. That is
think
where we're
that's
going to call it for this evening, everybody. Prod, you're making progress on some milestones. What a fun time. As for now, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all very much for joining us. I hope you all had fun. We shall be back, not in 2 weeks' time, but in 4 weeks' time, because in 2 weeks' time it is Christmas and everybody is going to do other stuff for Christmas. I'm moving house, probably. So yes. Thank you
And
all
I'm
very
probably
much
getting
for joining.
misgendered.
You're what?
Me
My
too,
brother-
Oh,
babes.
yes.
My brother is a douchebag.
Yes. No, we've been known. We've been known. Right. Thank you all very much for joining us this evening, everyone. For those of you on the Twitch side of things, we are going to go on a little raid. For those of you on the YouTube side, thank you for watching. Have a very good evening, everyone, and a very good night. And we shall see you all a next time. Ta-ta for now. Nobody else gonna say bye?
Bye. Fireball, 6th level.
Beautiful. I would like to raid Twitch. I would like to raid. Fucking hell. Fine. How am I already raided? Fine. Goodbye, everybody. There we go. Beautiful. Wonderful.
I just figured out how to do that, so that's good.
Oh boy, that's gonna come back to haunt us.
Session MVP. Who dis?
Prod,
No,
you
who
have
hasn't
the
got an
charge.
inspiration point anymore?
I think Prod. I think Prod.
Please.
Rod.
Alright.
Thank you.
Prod, you get a point of inspiration for the session. Enjoy your new items. I will send you the item descriptions for those things later. And I'm sure you will enjoy them.
Even the bandages. Do the bandages have a?
Oh, the bandages are a magic item, yeah.
Oh no.
I mean, they're bound to you now.
Literally.
I love how I was like at the start of this session, hey Prod, I kinda don't trust you with like items in your work because you keep getting cursed items, and lo and behold, you pick up yet another fucking cursed item this session.
Look,
The
thing
way
is,
you're gonna survive this is all the cursed items are gonna try and kill you, and they're gonna fight each other for who gets your fucking soul at the end.
that's the point. If like too many people want to claim me, either I'm gonna get claimed by the coolest one, or they're just gonna end up fighting each other, and I can slip away.
Or they'll just all take
Damn.
a piece of your soul.
What?
Oh.
As soon as I
Why do we have so many party members with things threatening to claim their souls? Like, both the librarian and Prod.
It's like
Hey, what are you gonna do?
Hey, forget about it.
forget about it. Is anything
Hi.
claiming your soul, Darren?
The only thing threatening my soul is the vial of, like, godly essence or something, I guess.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah, just
Drink
that.
it. Drink it. Drink it.
I made no such barter on that last jump. You were mid sentence when I was rolling a dex save.
Yeah.
Right, I gotta go make dinner and such. Laters.
Alright,
Hey.
have a good evening. Lying. Elfie, can I grab you for a moment?
Yeah.
Cool. The swords that you have
Uh.
are called the Blades of Dramatis.
That's a fun name.
Mm-hmm. I won't give you the exact things that they do until you decide to attune to them or have them identified. But I can tell you that they belonged to the first paladin of Calist, and that they were forged in Invict's forges, so in the forges of the Church of Invict, for the paladins of Calist. So yeah.
Invit. Like the one that wasn't.
Like Calist's twin brother.
Yeah, he was the one that we couldn't find items of in the.
No. You could find Invict, you couldn't find Vetic. Vetic being the god of creation, Invict being the god of knowledge.
Apologies.
No, it's fine. I know this lore, and even I get confused sometimes. I built this lore, and even I get confused sometimes.
Okay.
The blades do require attunement, though. So
Okay.
just
How
like
many items am I allowed to attune to?
What level are you?
11.
You are level 11. Thusly, you can attune to four items at the moment.
4 items.
How many items are you currently attuned to?
Does my necromantic sword require attunement?
Does it say it does?
I don't remember.
If it's a magic item, it usually does.
I
Also,
can check.
Goodbye.
Bye, Zarian.
Bye.
Combat items.
Go to your beautiful face. Beep bop beep bop beep bop 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 beep.
Necrotic Greatsword. 3d6 slashing plus 8 necrotic damage does not require attunement.
Okay,
It's
so
just
no.
a necrotic greatsword.
So I'm attuned to exactly one thing, which is the armor.
Okay. From now on, you will be attuned to 2 things. You will be attuned to the armor and the bandages, because they require attunement, and they automatically attune themselves to you.
Okay. So, armor and bandages. Do each of the swords class as 1 attunement each, or are both of them one attunement?
They're a set, so they come as 1 attunement only. I like giving people dual wielding stuff.
Yeah. Do I have? Because they're long swords, right?
They are.
Could I go for 1 in each hand? Is that allowed?
Yes. Yeah, you can one hand them.
Hell yeah.
That's kind of the way that I designed them. So.
Okay.
They do have like a bit of extra damage if you use 1 in 2 hands, but it's not that much. So yeah.
I'm so happy. This is a really good session. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. But yeah, once I have the full description written out, I'll send you the stuff for the bandages of Harrow Magistus. Because they automatically attune to you, you know exactly what they do.
What do they do?
You'll find out. I'll send you the stuff for it, but until you get that, you'll have to wait. I'll keep you in suspense for a little bit, you know? You'll get to play with them in 4 weeks' time. So
yes, boss.
Okay.
No, I love you very much.
I hope you enjoyed that.
I did.
Good.
Thank you.
I'm glad. Have a good evening.
You too. Bye.